All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Just kind of getting the chart set up, seeing what we got going on. I did take a trade overnight, as you can see. As you can see over here, I took a trade on the Apex account overnight here, making $954. Took two contracts on this trade. So we will not be trading the Apex account today since we're already up $954. Kind of the same idea that we had yesterday morning at open. Looks like we might have kind of setting up for a move up here at open. We got a pivot to the upside at the 14,400 level. And pivot to the downside basically at 14,300. So, oh, I'm sorry. We do have a pivot in the middle there, 14,350-ish area. So maybe we get this push back up at open here. You can see we got those numbers come out. It took a little $100 scalp on this account too this morning as it kind of, shot up, came back down, took a little scalp up. That trade that I took overnight occurred down here. In this fair value gap down here, you can see this is the ICT silver bullet between 3 and 4 a.m. So we swept this low. We moved to the upside, creating this gap here. So that's what I was looking at there. That gap's still kind of valid here. We traded back into it at those 830 numbers there, but I was really looking for a nice big trade out of this gap. So I got long at the 93 on the Apex account. You can see it pushed up all the way to the 50. I think it pushed up into the 50s here before pulling back. I put my stop here at this level here. Once we got above the 30s, 35s, I put my stop at the 20. Just locking in $300 on the second contract on the Apex account. I took profit on one of them at that same level for $600. So I was locking in the extra $300 there. It came back down. So I pushed all the way up into the 50s. So I left about, 30 handles on the table there. But was really had my target up here at the 99s, thinking we might get that push all the way up. So I kind of traded back down here, stopped me out when it pulled back here. And then we got that 830 news, and we just blasted out of this area. So probably get above the 60s this morning, possibly squeeze up here. 55, 60 area going to be important first thing here at open. Looking for this push up at open. I think we're going to have either a push up is possible or initially, excuse me, we may pull back into this gap here. So just be aware, maybe something like this, pull back in this area, maybe hit this VWAP and kind of make that move up and get above 400s. No guessing this morning. We're just going to wait and see kind of what the market offers us and what happens there. So we got about 3 minutes here until the market opens. So with that $954 winner this morning, that puts this Apex account at $51,250. Starting the day at $51,800 on the Top Step account. So see what we get here at open. It's kind of keep it simple first thing this morning. Let's just draw our kind of high to high trend line here. Once we break through this trend line kind of to the upside, then we will potentially take a long. Wouldn't be interested in a short really until we broke the VWAP. Might take a short below this 300 level, but then you got a really kind of a short range to the next fair value gap there. So I expect to push up here at open, but again, no guessing. No guessing here. All right, just seeing what happens here at open, about 10 seconds. Let's see here. There we go. Market's open. See if we get this pullback or if it just starts to go. Really need to push above that 50 area. Kind of looking like it might be a little choppy first thing this morning here. Let's see. I want to clear that 50 area. All right, here we go. See what we get. Gotta go here. We have to kill this. Starting to go. We're going to go to break even here. Might get stopped out on one, but that's okay. Just want to reduce risk a little bit there. Locking in a little bit as we go. Kind of, it's all right. Got stopped out there, but that's okay. All right. Could have managed that trade a little better. Probably should have waited just a tick longer to get the got stopped out on that first contract. Pretty much break even there. What, $15? Second contract we locked in 10 handles. Really wanted to have both contracts live there, but kind of just, I don't know. I don't want to say panicked, but moved it a little too quick there. All right, so now we're up $316 on the Top Step account here. That puts our equity at $52,125 after that trade. So possibly still push here, but let's just give it a minute. ES really still just holding up here at the VWAP. Failed to get above the 20 SMA. Don't have the ES on the chart here for you guys to see, but I am watching it over here on the other screen. Really didn't have that power this morning, this initial move that I was kind of looking for. Nasdaq pushing back up. Very, very volatile this morning. This is not the type of action that you really want to be in. You got to be careful when it's trading like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of sit on my hands for the first 15 minutes here. I don't think I'm going to take another entry. Let's just wait, let this thing calm down, see what happens from there. Again, pivot up there at the 400 level. All right, looking a little stronger here now. Not quite as volatile here at the top. 75 level holding it down. ES breaking out here. ES breaking out, Nasdaq kind of lagging. All right, looking weakish here now. Strong rejection at 75 there. Very, very strong. That's why I said you got to be careful right here. Got to be careful. Easily get stopped out. Kind of trading back into this VWAP area. Let's see how this reacts to the fair value gap here at the VWAP. Kind of got some support here in this area. Bouncing off of that VWAP there, trying to push back up. Traded right back into that fair value gap. Literally bounced right off the entry of that, the entrance of that gap there. ES seems to be being a little stronger today than the NAS. NAS a little more volatile here. I mean, you could have looked at this as an entry, you know, but that was a big pullback. I mean, you're talking from 75 down to 25, basically. A 50-point pullback in one candle there. Just got to be careful here today. Got to be careful. Tread lightly on this. I'm going to try to give it a little bit of time here to calm down. Possible triple top here on the NAS if we don't bust through this 75 level here. If it fails to get stuck here, if it gets stuck here again, we're probably going to pull all the way back. Push through the 75 level here. May get this move on up to 400 pretty quick. Reject this area again for the third time here, and we may get this move down finally. Hanging out up here at the 70. ES regaining its strength here a little bit, trying to push on up. Might just blow the top off this here. ES trying to push through the 78 level there. ES breaks through the high of day here at 79. I don't see how the NQ doesn't just go, but a little bit hesitant to jump in on it right here. Very easily could just pull back again. Might have could have taken that long for the break back out of this this trend line here, but didn't hit the button. Very easily to get trapped in this action, so just need to be careful. If you're just now joining us, we got the Apex account. Just got the P&L pulled up here on the right here. Took a trade overnight in the London session. Took the silver bullet trade, $954 on that. We're up $316 on the Top Step account here. Got that P&L down here in the left. So ES failed to make it through that 78 level. Might see the Nasdaq pull back here. Got me some Chick-fil-A this morning. My favorite. Pulling back here to that trend line, possible move back into this fair value gap one more time. Do we dare buy the bottom here? Try to buy the bottom, ride it back to the top. I don't know. If it trades back to that gap again, do we dare? Do we dare buy the bottom? All right, now we got that blast through that we were thinking might happen there. Oh, goodness. I want to participate, but I think I missed it. Should have got in for that pullback of this 20 SMA. So should have been long here from the 56, 57 level. So now that we kind of missed it, we're just going to have to watch it. I think we get this push through 400. Through the 80s now, approaching the 90s, into the 90s here. I don't see how we don't see the 400 level there. Funny because that overnight trade that I was in literally was long from 293 down here. Got long at 293, and I was looking. My target was 99, and had I not taken my stop off the, I took my stop to break even after we were up 30 handles. And then moved it up to 20 handles after we were up 40 handles. Had I just left my stop where it was here, I never would have got stopped out and we'd be up big, much, much larger right now. But so hard to do in the moment. You want to lock in something. And almost to my target from this morning there. Probably going to get this push right through the 400 level here. I'm not going to participate. I missed my entry It's going to be my new rule here. If we miss the entry, let's just wait. These just straight momentum trades, I'm only decent at it at open, and that's because at the open it's pretty much idiot proof. Pick a level, draw your trend line, pick a level. You know, we got the 50 psych level here. So that's all I did here. So with the break of 50, we got long, 2 contracts. Moved my stop up a little quick there on that first one and got stopped out for break even, but it's pretty much idiot proof there. You gotta to not make money on that. If you're not making money on that move up right there, then I don't know what to tell you. A little pullback here. ES pulled all the way back to the VWAP here, kind of struggling to hold the VWAP. We may get a pullback here. All right, NQ's pulling back here, just like we kind of suspected. The ES failed to hold the VWAP here. Selling off hard over here on the ES. Down to the 70. Could potentially, I mean, I don't like shorting above the SMA here and the VWAP. A lot of support underneath here. Potential support, that is. All right, trading through the 20 SMA now. Let's see if we get through this 20 SMA strong here. I'm not short currently. I'm going to kind of wait here. We got a lot of resistance. We got this fair value gap down at the 330. And then also the VWAP, obviously. And then you have that fair value gap from the London session, which was the silver bullet gap down at the 93. So in order for me to turn bearish here, we're going to have a... Either I should have been getting short up here in this 80 level just for an aggressive entry, or you just kind of have to wait for the clear of this 300 level, which doesn't give you a whole lot of room down to this next fair value gap. It's only about a 10 handle move down, so kind of a bouncy area here. I'm kind of bullish today, so I'm hesitant to take shorts. Really just looking for longs this morning. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Longs for now. ES is continuing to sell off though. Breaking through the 60 here, down to 66, maybe hunting that low a day. If you were going to take an entry on the ES there, you probably should be short from the 70. What would that be? 72, looks like. Yeah, so for the break of 71, maybe you would be short there. Would have been a nice entry on the ES. Easy to see after the fact. Yeah, it's pretty clear short there on the ES. I'm not planning on trading the ES today just because I've been burned a couple of times there. But if we just switch over to the ES here, you can see this was a pretty clear short here. Just simple as it gets. You know, draw your little trend line on the lows just like that as soon as it breaks it. So you could get short there at 71, move down to 65. Don't really have that set up here on the NQ. I'm not didn't really get that breakthrough there on NQ. Of course, we are above the VWAP and now the 20 SMA, so I don't love it. I don't love it. All right, just see what's going on here. Hanging out at the 20 SMA here. ES still trying to break down. Nasdaq's holding up at the 20 SMA. Look, Nasdaq looking a little stronger than the ES at this point. Bouncing off that 20 SMA now. Trading back up into the small fair value gap that it kind of made on the way down there. I don't really expect this gap to be respected, but we're going to mark it out anyway. Kind of thought it's probably just going to move right on through there. All right. If you haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I appreciate it. Helps the channel out. Well, I guess it did respect that gap for now, and traded back up in it. We did have a structure shift here, so traded down, traded back up in it, You know, could have taken a short here, but that's a bit of a dangerous short. Might work out, but like I said, I don't really like shorting above the VWAP and the 20 SMA. It's just, you can easily just get a blast right through there in no time. It's kind of chopping around so far this morning. I mean, you did have that short entry on the ES. You could have played this bounce off the SMA, this momentum here. You could have played a trade in there, but I missed it. Saw it too late and just decided not to participate at that point. We are holding the 20 SMA decently over the last 20 minutes or so. Overshot it a couple times, but for the most part, we've just held the 20 SMA here. Breaking through the 20 SMA there, now approaching the VWAP as the ES is kind of settling down a little further, trying to make a new low. So I guess this entry here would have worked out there. In hindsight, easy to see, right? I mean, we potentially could take a short. Man, it would be so dangerous to take a short in this bullish fair value gap here, though. Hasn't really been tested once. I don't like shorting. Like I said, I don't like shorting above the VWAP there. We're just going to stick to our rules. I like the nice, easy, resistance-free money. That's what I like. Resistance-free. The ES kind of failing to sell off there. Didn't quite make a new low. Oh. Just notice I got the wrong chart pulled up over here. It happens. Let's see. There we go. I was wondering why that looked so funny. Sorry, so I guess the ES did make a new low there, now that I'm looking at it. Traded down to the 64.50 area. So you would have got your 5 handles off that short there. Big wick on the 15-minute chart there on the ES. Bouncing back up here. And NQ as well, got a nice wick going. Trading back up into that fair value gap. Feels like this is a reversal. The S can get above that VWAP there, may be able to get it going here. Feels like we... VWAP on the ES looks like it is. Let's check that 3-minute chart on the ES. Mine is showing 42.72. That's where we got the VWAP on my chart on the 3-minute. That's what I like to use, 3-minute chart there. All right, trading back up into this fair value gap from earlier. You know, approaching the top of the hour here, 10 a.m. here in 2.5 minutes. I think we want to just wait. No point in really doing anything here. Let's wait until the market kind of gives us some easy money. Yeah, it's trying to get back above the VWAP there. Yeah, I don't think there's any point. I mean, you could possibly try to take a long here, but this could easily reverse here. I mean, if you broke above the 90 level, you might could try to take a overshoot trade into that 05 level for a quick 15 handles, but have to break through that 90 strong. Strong breakthrough 90, you might could take a long there. Approaching the top of the hour, so just be careful. And I'm probably going to wait here, see if we can't identify the silver bullet between 10 and 11 a.m. here. I think that's going to be our next sort of entry. See if we can identify that silver bullet there. If this did, perhaps breaks, if it did break down here, this would be a much kind of better entry. If you drew this trend line kind of to the downside here, if we broke through this trend line, even though we'd be above the SMA, you could get an aggressive entry off this trend line. We bounced off the VWAP earlier, failed to break it, so you'd have to just be aware of that. But you'd have a little distance. You probably could have your stop at break even by the time we reach the SMA there. Top of the hour just hit there. Got to get above 42.80. Looks like we got to get above 42.80 there on the ES. Get above 42.80, above that high a day. I think we move up, but if we can't hold the low a day there at the 68, somewhere in the 68 level, if we sell through this hard, break through low a day, we'll be in sell mode today. But still thinking bullish today. It's really what I'm thinking. Still thinking we're gonna move up. So kind of had that big move down yesterday. Do have relatively equal lows here on the ES now. So you're going to have that liquidity resting below the 62 level there, but you also got relatively equal highs here as well. Double top. So it feels like it's going to pop that top before it takes those lows, but who really knows? Could go either way. You can make an argument for both sides here. A lot of wicks here. I mean, a lot of indecision. Wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside. All right, if it pushes through that 90 level, then we may consider along here moving our stop very quickly. Almost immediately, we will move the stop. Let's see what happens here. And again, that's the issue there. As we approach that 90, we just continuously keep getting rejected. You would think that we would eventually pop that top on it there. I'm just putting these trend lines on here just for you guys reference if you're watching, so you can kind of understand potentially what we're looking for. All right, kind of approaching this trend line again. I don't know if I want to take this trade. It's been kind of wiki here, but all right, we're gonna give it a try. Again, I'm gonna move my stop very quickly to break even like right now. Oh, well, maybe we're not. All right, like right. Well, I keep trying. All right, here we go. There we go. Now we got it at break even. See if we can get this pushed through here. Then kind of just trail this up, lock some in as we go. There we go. Just keep it tight there. I think it's going to pop the 400, but you know, this is a relatively risky entry here. Just because of how weaky this is. I could have just dropped it at break even and left it, but just wanted to lock some in. I kind of figure we'll get this overshoot maybe to that 07, maybe 10 level before it rejects a little, but I'm okay with just taking out $85 there. Puts us at $397 up in the Top Step account today. And there we are, 07s. Expect maybe a little retracement here before it maybe heads higher. So this could have been a nice trade had I just been a little more patient with it. But, you know, this is one of those momentum reads. So just wanted to kind of keep a tight stop on it there. Yeah, I could have certainly could have been a little more patient with that trade. Would have got a nice little winner there, but that's okay. I'm going to be happy with my $85. All right. Oh. What happened there? Man, all my accounts just blinked. Every account, I don't know what happened there. Anybody else have that happen? Took all my stuff off. Wow. Was that Tradevate there that did that, or I don't know. I think I don't know if it was my internet that just blinked out or if that was Tradevate. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who to blame. Let's check the stream. Make sure we're still live. Looks like we are. Looks like the stream is still good. All right, let's draw our boxes out again. Looks like it, I don't know what happened there. Trade of 8 blinked, and everything is now gone. I probably should check my stops and all that too and make sure they're right. I mean, I'm thinking that was trade of 8. I don't really know. Could have been my internet, but I figure if it was my internet, then, you know. We did create a fair value gap to the upside here. Wait, I'm on the wrong chart. CS. Let's see. Let's switch back over to the 3 minute. There we go. Traded back into that gap on the 1 minute chart. All right, let's take a look. See if we can put this back on here just for reference. Boom. Let's do double work and mark these out once more. It's a tough job marking out these boxes. Tough job. Somebody's got to do it, though. On the 1 minute chart, we do have a couple fair value gaps, but I'm not going to mark those out. I think those are fine. All right. So you can see that entry there, $85. Got long there, left a bit on the table, but too skittish there. Moved my stop too quick. ES pushed up and made new highs there. 79.50 before it got rejected. 42.79.50. Let's see. NQ broke through that pivot there at the 400s. Then kind of pulled back into that area. ES has a pivot up there at 42.82.75. Just be aware. 42.82.75. Ugh. Tired this morning. I woke up at 3:45 and took a trade in the London session. Left some money on the table there because I was a bit aggressive. While we're waiting here, we can I guess we could look at that trade, kind of show it to you guys. I'll have to go here. Let's just stretch this one out so you guys can see for a minute. So here's the trade that we took in the London session here. So you can see we got long here, 2 contracts at 42 or 42.93.75. 2 contracts long. You can see we swept the low here, went up, market structure shift, created this fair value gap here. So I took my entry at 42.93. 2 contracts. Took one off for $635 there at 43.25 for, what is that? Almost 30, 28 handles. And I put my stop at break even at this point, trying to let the other one ride. My target really was the 99 level, was what I was thinking, right below that pivot. So once we broke that 40 level, I moved my stop to just below this order block here. And then I decided to move it up to 20 because we had this other fair value gap here and it looked like it was being respected. So once we moved out of that zone, I moved it up to 20 to lock in $300. That's where I left it, and I just went back to sleep. And you can see it moved all the way up to 53. Pulled back, stopped me out. Pulled all the way back to here and then rocketed out of there this morning before market open. This was where my original stop was, down here at 79. If I just left it at 79, you know, in hindsight, it's easy to see that. Then I would have never been stopped out. The problem was this was on my Apex account. And so, you know, you got that trailing drawdown. So I didn't want to I kind of wanted to trail this up a little bit. I lost some here. So you can see I only took 325, and we probably were up 1,000 at one point on that one contract. So we left like $500-600 of the trailing drawdown on the table there. So, but that's all right. I like the trade. That's the type of stuff I'm looking for there. Easy, easy trades. So, well, that's the Apex account. We're not going to be trading that anymore today because we are, no point in putting that money at risk after we've made it. Let's see. Okay, it took my, I just noticed it took my position off there. Let's put that back on. So this is the Top Step account here that we're trading this morning. I did take a small scalp pre-market on it for $100. I think it's right here. Kind of pulled back here, pulled back to the VWAP there, bounced off the VWAP. Same idea. All right, NQ's kind of pushing through here, trying to make a new high. Well, ES, let's see, ES is approaching the high there. No real setup for me yet, though, on this. Kind of looking for the ICT Silver Bullet setup here. Don't know that we'll get it today. But let's just see if we can't find it. See if it doesn't set it up there. Yes, attempting to make new highs here. All right. There we go. Got a new high made there. All right. ES has made a new high there. Now it's kind of rejecting. Let's see how the NQ reacts to that. All right, kind of pulling back here, rejected that level here, so potentially we might be setting up here for the silver bullet. We took this liquidity up here. Maybe if we have a market structure shift back to the downside, we could be pulling back. But let's just wait and see what happens here. All right, let's see if we get any displacement here to the downside, or if it's just a pullback to the MA here and maybe move higher. ES holding up here a little better, hanging out at the top near the highs. Got this pivot right here at the 400 on the NQ to think about. Starting to see that my favorite setup in the morning is the initial opening, kind of 3-minute candle here. This is the easiest to trade in my opinion. You make your stop a little wider of a stop, and you wait for it to break a key level. So I just waited for it to break this high of this candle and the 50. And then we got long there. Really should have capitalized. Should have had about a $400 winner here, maybe more if I'm not so tight with my stop there. That really, to me, is the easiest trades to make of the day and the easiest money. Yeah, we got some decent news next week. Let's see. I don't know. Something's going on with Trade-Evate today. I'm trying to move some of my charts, and they're freezing. It's a little bit glitchy today. This is what I'm trying to do, is like shrink and expand my charts over here on this other screen, and they're very glitchy. I don't know if it's me, if it's my internet, or if it's my charts, or if it's Trade-Evate or whatever. Anyways, if you just joined us, here you can see this is the Apex account that we traded this morning in the London session. Made $954 on one trade. You can see it says 2 trades, but it really is just 2 contracts. And then here is the Top Step account that we're currently trading this morning. Just waiting for the possible ICT silver bullet setup here. That is what we are looking for. Going to try to not allow happen today what happened yesterday. If you're not aware, yesterday I was up $900 basically in the morning session. And then we gave back $600 in the afternoon. So the plan today is not to allow that to happen. Maybe look for 1 trade, maybe 2 to execute on the Top Step account this afternoon. And potentially go ahead and get this account funded. We only need $800 as we sit right here to get funded. But if we don't get it, not going to worry about it. We would just come into tomorrow and try to get $300 or $400 and then possibly get funded on Monday next week and start making some money. That would be the plan. While we're waiting here for something to happen, I'll show you guys the so here's the Top Step account going into today. You can see the balance going into today, 51,808. So that's the high. And then we got this nice little equity curve here. As you can see, we just had this one blip last Thursday when I broke my rules, over traded, lost $1,000. But you can see overall 240, 413, 325, 356. There's the blip in the radar. Come back strong the next day, 566, 330, 304, 287. So really showing some consistency here on the Top Step account. You can see the risk to reward's not the greatest. Average winning trade $99, average losing trade $128, but win percentage 66%. So as long as the win percentage is up, you're still going to be profitable. And this is my breakdown. You know, this is the daily breakdown. Averaging 25 contracts a day. So you can see on the days when I kind of overtrade, I mean, look here, you know, this day I traded 58 contracts. I only made $356. That's way too many. But the days when I just have these nice lower amount of trades, we are typically making the best money. So that day was bad. Broke my rules. Yeah, if I could go back, and I would take $500 off this loss by just walking away and just trading the other account, but can't do it. Yesterday we kind of overtraded in the afternoon, made a few mistakes. I accidentally entered a trade on the Apex account when I said I wasn't going to trade it anymore that day. I was up 574. I lost $85 on that accidental click. Should have just walked. I should have just been like, all right, I'm still up 490 and walk away. But what did I do? No, I was like, I got to get that $85 back. And so I entered another trade, and the next thing you know, I'm down $400. I'm down $400 on that trade, and then I enter another one. Next thing you know, I'm down $300 total. So ended up getting it back to positive $1, but still. Those are the trials and tribulations of my trading. Good morning, Jason. If you just look right here on the Apex account over here, we're up $954. And on the Top Step account, we're up $397. So basically, that's about $1,350 so far today. All right, not too much further here. Let's see here. Kind of pulling back. This is just choppy. I mean, nothing to do here. All right, Jackson. I just got your text message. We'll take that into consideration. We appreciate the concern. If anybody was wondering, the text says, don't take any trades in the Top Step account this afternoon. All right, we'll take that into consideration. See what we can do. Listen, we have to trade, right? Can't trade our P&L. You have to trade whether you're up, you're down, no matter what it is. Listen, we can't stop trading just because we're close to the target. Still got to take the trades to get there. We just got to make sure we take the right trades and follow the rules, and we'll be just fine. If we do those things, no issues. When we don't do those things, there's definitely issues. All right, not really anything to do here. ES is actually kind of breaking out here up to the 81. I feel like this ES may trade up into the 88 level here. It's kind of setting up for the ICT silver bullet here. We're taking out the high. Possible trade back into the 75 level, into this fair value gap. And then get the move up to 88. I do not like taking trades on the ES though, but that would be the setup there that we'd be looking for. So if you get a trade back into the 75 level here on the ES, you could take an entry. I actually have an order block here as well at the 75. This actually looks pretty good. Trade back into the 75. Look for the move up to the 88 level on the ES potentially. I don't know that I'm going to take it, but yeah. So we'll switch over to the ES here and kind of outline it. So we kind of look at the 5-minute chart here. And of course, you could potentially get an entry on the, I'm sorry, that's the wrong chart. So you're looking at the 15-minute chart here, and then, here's the kind of area that we're looking at. So let's mark this out. Move down into a smaller time frame to maybe kind of look for a different sort of an entry. So you do have a fair value gap here as well. So you could take either, really could take either of these. I just realized it already traded back into that area. Didn't see that before. So it actually traded back into that gap right here. Oh, it actually did tap the gap. So that would have been your entry. This was formed at 10:06. I didn't mark it out. Didn't really notice it. You could possibly take another entry here on this higher gap as well. So this is, I don't know what I was doing. I didn't even see that. So you kind of have this sort of setup here on the ES. Yeah, this would have been your entry for the silver bullet. 75, move already up to 82. I missed that. I don't really see it on the, I'm not seeing it on the NQ yet. Well, I guess you could have got long in the NQ at 84. I kind of missed that. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was just talking, but yeah. Let's check that 2-minute chart. No, nothing to, well. Yeah, we missed it on the 2-minute chart here. There's a very small fair value gap that it traded right back into. It was right there when it was barcoding, though. So you can see the ES kind of trading back into this higher gap now. I mean, it could potentially trade all the way back down here. I kind of missed it. Not going to take the trade since I did miss it. But I can't believe I missed that. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, I'm back there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that I missed that setup there on the ES. That's okay. I wasn't really paying that close of attention to the ES other than the fact whether or not it was breaking out or breaking down. So that's kind of what happens. Switch back over to the Nasdaq there. Like I said, on a 3-minute chart here, you don't really have any fair value gaps to speak of. I mean, the silver bullet hasn't presented itself there. And I mean, I'm looking at the 1-minute chart. We do have some gaps on the 1-minute chart, but I guess that's what I should have been kind of paying attention to. Looks like, let's see. Not really like that one. This one here, I mean, I guess this might be it. On the 1-minute chart, this is probably what we would have been looking for. So you had like no real displacement here, even though you got a fair value gap. I mean, technically, I guess it did displace this high. So this could be your entry here. You know, again, this is in kind of in hindsight here. So this one could have been your entry. Like I said, this would have been very aggressive because you barely had any displacement and you are on the 1-minute chart and you haven't really broken. This gap has not been invalidated yet at this point to me. Now this one, which is the trade I was in, it did invalidate the gap. We did have some nice displacement, but I wasn't looking at the 1-minute chart. So you can see here, traded right back into it. So stop would have been here, 73, entry here at the 85. Was also, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. There's a gap below it too. So anyways, stop would have been here at the 85, which it would have been very close to getting tapped out. It should be 85 plus 1 tick. So it pulls back into the gap and then kind of chops around and then goes. It's not a huge winner here. You would have got long at the 400s, 27 handles there. So I don't know, this is what, ICT would call a high resistance liquidity run here. I mean, it's not just going to your target. It's just chopping around. It's not clean. You really want a clean run like you had this morning, Tapped out of it here. Well, even there wasn't great. Let's see. Well, earlier this morning. At 8:30, you had that big push up, the pull back down. I guess none of them have really been all that clean this morning. They all kind of been high resistance. Well, we're on the 1 minute chart though. Switch back over to the 3 minute chart. Look a little better. You can see all these wicks. All these wicks. It's just not pretty. Very difficult to trade. You like to have volatility, but this is a little too much volatility here. Little too much volatility. Trying to push back up here. Yes, still trying to approach the highs. All right, NQ kind of bouncing out of that fair value gap there. This actually would have been a decent entry, I guess. You'd have the fair value gap and the pivot point there at the 400 level. Kind of breaking out here now. Approaching the pivot here on the NQ, another pivot at the 37. ES making a new high here, or approaching the high a day, trying to make a new high. I would have liked to have taken this breakout here, but knowing the pivot's here, I didn't really want to risk it. Might get rejected here at this pivot. Possible overshoot to the 40. And then kind of pulling back into this 20 area maybe. All right, hitting the pivot here. As always, could just blast right through there. You never know, but it's not typically the way it happens. There we are. Hit the 42s, kind of pulling back here a little bit. ES made new highs just by a tick. ES also approaching a pivot here. Got rejected at this pivot earlier at that 42.82 level. Rejected it earlier. Let's see if it gets through it this time. Nasdaq first time touching this pivot today. It's going to make an attempt to get through there, I'm certain. Whether or not it makes it, who really knows? Possible move up to the 88 on the ES like we talked about earlier. Still could be long from that. You know, from the entry earlier today, right here. Still could be long from 75. I certainly wouldn't be. Let's not kid ourselves. I would have already taken profit. Taking profit is not a bad thing sometimes. Kind of working on a fair value gap here on the Nasdaq. I mean, you do have that pivot there in this area, so this may not be a bad setup. It is kind of high up here. You know, obviously an entry down here would have been nicer. Probably one of these wicks here would have been the entry. I hate that I keep missing these setups. I gotta really start paying attention to the other time frames. I got them pulled up, but I don't. There's so much to. I'm watching both indices, you know. So many charts to look at here. I'm pretty sure there is a indicator that kind of marks out the fair value gaps for you. I don't know if it's available on Trade-Evade or not, though. Not sure if it's available on Trade-Evade. I should look into that. Probably would be a smart idea, huh? All right, pushing through that pivot there. We created a fair value gap there on the 2-minute chart. So if it pulls back into that 32 level, you know, which would be a little below the pivot there, might take an entry. 3-minute chart here looks like it's at that 33 level. The only thing that concerns me is the pivot there and the fact that we're kind of up here at the top of the range here. ES is pushing up into the 85. Like I said earlier, probable move to the 88s. Should have just taken that trade on the ES. I just don't have the patience on the ES. Takes too long. You know, trading sometimes is about recognizing what you're good at and what you're not good at, and I'm not great at holding the trades. So let's just stick to the NQ where we don't have to hold them. Just get the move, take it, and be on your way. All right, kind of getting this pullback here. Now, are we going to take this trade? That's the question. What would we have to risk? So from 32. So we'd have to have a 12 handle stop here. Let's see if there's a smaller risk that we might take on the lower time frames. I mean, on the 1-minute chart, I guess you could, if you waited for the full pullback into the 27 level, stop would be at the 18. May not even get the pullback, though, so maybe irrelevant. And we also are approaching the 450 area here on the on the NQ here. So possible, rejection here at the 50 area. So let's see what happens here. See if we can possibly take an entry here, or if we're not going to, we'll figure it out. All right, if you're just joining us, just going to kind of go over here. Got the Apex account over here on the right, showing my P&L from trading the London session this morning. I took one trade, 2 contracts, made $954. Got the haven't traded the Apex account since then. I've taken all my morning trades on the Top Step account here, up 397 so far on that one, and looking for a possible entry here. Haven't really taken. I've taken took a little $100 scalp early this morning before market open, and then at the open I took a little $205 2 contracts, but I got stopped out at break even on one for $15. I moved the stop too quickly, and then took 205 on the other, and then we took a small little $100 scalp here, I believe, or yeah, $85 scalp. That's the gist of the trades so far this morning. How's it going, Crypto Dylan and Bartholomew? Hey, Crypto, I logged into the Discord yesterday. Been in and out of there this morning. Haven't been in the part where you guys are maybe speaking, but just kind of reading through the chat and stuff there. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, we gave back some of the profits we made from the morning. Ended only up $277, I think, after I was up about $900. Still finished green, but it always feels bad when you are when you're up and then you give it back. But it is what it is. Yeah, hop on the voice chat. Yeah, I should. I could turn it on. What do? You just jump in there? I've never done that before. So I see you got the Nasty Live channel. I'm assuming that's the voice chat. And what do? I just click on that and it puts me in there. I've never used Discord as crazy as that sounds. I was in one Discord, but it wasn't a trading Discord. All right, so it didn't pull back into that gap, really. I mean, it's a couple of ticks away from it. Pushing up to that 50 level, kind of getting rejected. All right, I think I figured out how to get in there. Hop on the live and we just chat. I feel like I'm not one of the guys because I don't have a horse on mine. I see everybody has horses or something to that effect. Well, I guess not everybody. It's like this one guy is a monkey. All right, there we go. I'm in there now. I muted my mic. The horse crew, that's right. At least I think I muted my mic. Yeah, I did. All right, making it through the 50s now. The ES is up to 86. Like I said, it's kind of headhunting that 88 level there. Oh, he hasn't earned the horse label yet? I got you. Oh, I guess this other guy, what is that? Is that a pit or a cat or a panther? Could be something like that. I can't really tell. Are you guys talking in there now? Because I can't hear anything. I see the little green lights going up above on your names there, but I don't swipe up. I don't think I have it muted. I have my voice muted. All right, ES approaching that 88 level there, up to 86.50. NQ just keeps pushing. All right, I am on a phone call, so I guess maybe that could be it. Once I get off this call, then we'll check it out. We'll jump in there and see. Yeah. Well, I think that might do it for me this morning, guys. I don't think I'm not really seeing anything interesting. I don't want to say I missed the entry here. I jumped in for the breakout, but, as I do, I move my stop too quick. So I'll be back live this afternoon at 2 p.m. And I'm going to jump in there to that Discord, and I'll give you guys a listen for a little bit while I'm Still got the computer turned on, so we'll see what you guys got going on. But if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, turn the bell on so you get notified when I go live. And I'll be back today at 2 p.m. So we'll see you guys then.